So, loan update. So we're going to be going through the 10 players out on loan at Tottenham. There is currently 11 with Matthew Craig also out on loan at Doncaster. However, we're going to be focusing more on the first team players and players who are not likely but more likely to be pushing into the first team. Those being Phillips Devine and also Troy Parrott. So the loan players at the moment we've got out is Tanganga over at Millwall. We've got Spence at Genoa, Ndombele at Galatasaray, Parrott at Excelsior, Devine at Plymouth, Regulon now at Brentford, Phillips now at Plymouth, then Roden at Leeds, Dyer at Bayern, and then Veliz at Seville. So we're going to be starting obviously with Tanganga, who's had 6 games at Millwall, and he's had 1 goal as well, which is decent for a centre back in those amount of games. He's only getting about a 6.3, 6.4 rating per game and hasn't really lit up there. Coming back from injury, he's not really expected to be lighting up the league, and it is more about getting some game time, getting some fitness, and seeing from there. I feel like next season, I feel is going to be another loan for him. Probably a loan with an option, a loan with an obligation. I don't think he's got a future at Tottenham with our play style and where we want to go as a club. Although he's a great player and I feel like he's a good person as well from the interviews and everything, I don't think he will be of the level that we need at Tottenham to be pushing for the Champions League and also the Premier League later in the FA Cup, etc. So yeah, I feel like Tanganga next season, another loan with an option slash obligation to buy for the club, and I think it's going to be more a lower Premier League or a higher Championship team. Jed Spence now at Genoa. He's had what is it? Oh, I can't read from here. He's had 4 games at Genoa, 7 at Leeds, 0 goal contributions for both clubs. Leeds, there was quite an issue with his attitude, so then we brought him back. He's now went to Genoa, still not really getting a lot of game time. It's a continued thing. Conte with it at Rennes, then Leeds, now Genoa. I don't think he was of the ability of what we needed, and I feel like it was just a lot of fans just saw that game against Arsenal where he was really, really good and thought, right, that's his level. He can do it against Saka in that game, so obviously he can do it from now on. I feel like it was too little, really, too little evidence for him to be doing that sort of move. Same as Tanganga, I think they're very similar, if not Spencer's a little bit lower than Tanganga in my opinion. And I feel like the Championship is his sort of level, maybe a low Premier League club. I feel like it's his sort, but I feel, especially with his attitude problems, I feel like he's going to have to start back at the Championship and try work his way back up the leagues. Ndombele Galatasaray. So it's a tricky one with Ndombele. We all know he's got the potential to be one of the best midfielders in the world, really, and he's sort of the Pogba sort of, well, maybe not Pogba level, but the ball mastery of Paul Pogba and Ndombele are very similar in the way they pretty much master that midfield area, and they're becoming more of a general in midfield. However, Ndombele is just his attitude towards his fitness and his seriousness towards the game has been said since youth level with the coaches at Lyon saying that, and then also shown with Pochettino, a small bit of Pochettino saying he was going to leave Tottenham due to the Pochettino pre-season. Then also Mourinho breaking lockdown to do some runs with the park for Ndombele. Things like that. Yes, he's shown glimpses, but I don't think he's going to have a future at Tottenham. I think he's on 220k a week as well. I feel like it's going to be a sale, and I feel like I'm not really sure where he's going to go. Serie A might suit him because it's slower, so he won't have to be as fit. But has he got the discipline? Because Serie A, although it's slower, it's a lot about discipline and keeping a shape rather than the Premier League. It's a lot more fitness and faster pace. And there is obviously the discipline of keeping your position. However, I feel like it's a lot less compared to the Serie A, where it's a lot more regimented in their shapes. Feel like if we can get a sale game off the books, don't think Andrew Liking. There's obviously that Ange interview where it's one player with a bad attitude can ruin the whole squad. Don't think Ange's going to want him at the club, sadly. Next is going to be Troy Parrott, Excelsior. He's having a really good season. 20 games, 7 goals, 3 assists. Still 23 years old, 22 years old. So I feel like I'm hoping we can get him on a loan to a high championship team slash low Premier League, and then but if he's at Premier League, I feel like he'd be more rotation. I can't see him starting for any Premier League clubs. Maybe if we can get the sort of Dominic Solanke sort of move like Liverpool did back in the day, where he was rotation every so often, getting some first team appearance. That could be his route into the Premier League. But I feel like if he can get Championship, get some goals in the Championship, have like a Dwight Gale sort of season there, then go into the Premier League and then come back to Tottenham when he's about 25 and see if he can break first team football and be even a substitute coming on. But I feel he's still got a loan. I don't think Tottenham are going to sell him because of the money we'll be able to get from a loan won't be as much as we'd want, especially with Levy and knowing the potential Troy Parrott. I don't think Levy's going to accept a sort of purchase for him at this stage. Going to the Championship now, we've got Devine and Phillips both at Plymouth. Start with Devine, started his loan at Port Vale in League One, having a really good season with them, to which we recalled him and then put him into the Championship with Plymouth. He had 20 goals, 20 games, 2 goals and 1 assist at Port Vale. Loved by the fans, and I was quite disappointed when he left to go to the Championship, but they also understood at the same time. Well, now he's at the Championship with Plymouth. He's had 7 games. He's got 2 assists in the FA Cup, 2 games, 1 assist, and then the EFL Cup, Carabao Cup, 4 games, 1 goal, 1 assist. For a midfielder, box to box slash advanced 8, I feel like he's having a great season. Don't think he's going to be quite ready for first team football. Maybe getting some League Cup games next season for us if he is to stay with us, or go on loan again to a higher end Championship club or more bench and get some. I don't think he'll be actually loaned to a Prem team, higher Championship club, or staying in the first team squad just for training and then maybe get some appearances in the League Cup. Phillips, I think, is going to have the same sort of trajectory next season. However, Phillips might be able to get a loan to a team coming up from the Championship or one who's just survived the Premier League. He's honestly showed great potential this season with Plymouth. People, even not Plymouth fans and not Tottenham fans, are raving about him, and people are saying that we've got one of the best centre backs, or English centre backs, coming up through our ranks now. I think him as a fifth choice centre back for us next season will be really good. Understanding the Ange system, learning off of Romero, Van de Ven, Dragerson, and then maybe Tapsoba if we can get him in the summer as well. I think will be really good for him being around in the environment. I feel like I'd prefer him to stay at the with the first team rather than go on loan. However, if we do get 2 centre backs in, or if we get a massive centre back in like a Tapsoba, maybe it might be best for him to go on loan because he's not going to get any appearances with Tapsoba, Van de Ven, Dragerson, Romero, and Davies all being there. He's not really going to get a lot as a 6th choice, but it's one of those. It's going to be one or the other, alone or with a first team. I can't see him, or I doubt he's going to be sold this early in his career. Regulon now. Regulon's now at Brentford, started with United. Really good, well, not really good, but good at United with them. Fans really liked him, showing promise when he was playing. 14 games this season with 1 assist. The fans wanted him to stay at United, especially now with them injuries to Malacia and Shaw keeps happening. I feel like that was a mistake from their hand, sending him back to Tottenham, but now he's at Brentford. I'm hoping Brentford will like him so much that they keep him, and I can see that happening. I can see it. He seems a Brentford sort of player. I don't think he's an Ange sort of system player. Can't see him inverting. Don't think he's good enough going forward either. Don't think he's good enough defending for an Ange system. And I feel like he can get a lot better second choice left backs. I love him as a player and everything, but I just don't think he's of the level we need at the moment. So I think it's going to be a sale for him next season. Same with Roden, currently at Leeds. He is wanted by Leeds. He's had 34 games with them and no goals, but that's not really a given with a centre back. And Leeds want to make it permanent, but Tottenham are asking, I think, 15 million, and they don't really have the funds for that. I feel like if he doesn't go there, I've always pictured Rodon for some reason at like a Crystal Palace, that sort of level. So I feel like he'll get a sale to a Premier League side next season, probably around that 10 to 15 million mark. Eric Dyer at Bayern, 6 games so far. Not really liked by the Bayern fans or Tuchel supposedly. Too slow for the league. Not the greatest defender. He's going to be coming back to Tottenham at the end of his loan, but I feel like we're going to try and like sell him out. I've seen he's spoke about in the past about wanting to return to Sporting, to which I can see. I'm not sure of his wages if that would be too much for him, for them. Sorry, and I feel like it would be good for him and good for us to get him off the books. I've liked Dyer. He's had a great career at Tottenham, but I feel like he stayed here too long. Maybe the time for him to leave was when Mourinho was at United, and he was linked to them back when he was a midfielder. And Mourinho wanted to get the double signing of Delhi and also Dyer, and ended up with neither. But I feel like his times came to the end at Tottenham. I think some fans didn't even realise he was on loan and thought it was a sale. And I think that's going to be a sale in the summer. Valise, Sevilla, only had 1 game so far, no goals, no assists. I think with him, obviously, there's the injury at Tottenham where it was quite sad to see when he was crying on the pitch. I think the reason he went out on loan, I feel like, was because of the Dane Scarlett situation. And if Scarlett didn't come back and could have been loaned out after he came back, Valise would have stayed. But because Scarlett came back, couldn't be sold to anyone else or loaned to anyone else, sorry. Feliz had to be the one going because there was no point in having them both on the bench where both of them aren't really going to get any game time. So, I reckon. I'm not sure. I quite like him to see. I quite like to see him in the Premier League next season with a loan. Can't see him really being at Tottenham next season. I don't think he's of the standard yet, and I'm not really sure he's up for our system either. Yes, he's a good player for crossing the ball, etc. But I don't think he's got the sort of build up play we need. Yes, as you saw when he was at Tottenham for the last 5 minutes of the game, yes, he's useful in that sort of Fernando Llorente role, but obviously he's not of that stature and not of that ability. So down the line, yes, but I feel like next season a loan to a Premier League club will be good for him. So out of those 10 players, Tanganga, I think is a sale, Spence a sale, Ndombele a sale, Parrott loan, Divine loan, Phillips loan, Feliz loan, and then back with the sales of Regulon, Radon and Dyer. Let me know what you think, and if I've missed anyone out, I don't believe so, and I will see you on the next one.